Welcome to Television is Furniture. We are once again conducting an interview. We are once again conducting an interview for the channel, this time speaking with writer and critic, the phenomenally talented Monique Grbec. Welcome to the channel and thanks for being with us.
Hello, Rob, and everyone.
So mainly I wanted to talk because I've been following the Wall Remix project. Which has been terrific. As soon as you posted about it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to be good. Because the Wall, the Pink Floyd, The Wall is one of those kind of seminal albums for me. One of those, you know, I grew up with it. I can still in my head, I can hear the music as soon as we talk about it. And that idea of taking text, pre-existing text, and repurposing it and using it to make your own story and make your own points, etc. I found really interesting. I really enjoyed every day you doing that. So I thought it would be really interesting to talk to you about that. And then when I approached you about it, you mentioned that there's potentially a kind of performance outcome for it.
I am hope. Well, I have hope. I have lots of hope.
So what?
I've got fun out.
So what are you thinking as the performer? Is it going to be the musical, or is it going to be performed as poetry? What are you thinking?
Well, initially I would like it to be or just a reading, a very gentle reading, because it was a big rewriting of 26 tracks. It's a lot to it was a lot to rewrite, and I think that would be a bit overwhelming for a musician or some musicians to get onto rewriting the music. So I thought we'd start off with a reading with just some sort of a little bit of a musical accompaniment, and then depending on how that goes and the connections that I make with the music, we will, maybe it will evolve into something a lot bigger. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was super fun. It came from I had a little residency with M Pavilion, and it came from that. They had titles, and it was Re-emerge, a remix, and because the album was all about self-imposed isolation, this was like, oh my gosh, we're in COVID and we're stuck inside. What's going to be? And how am I going to remix this? And it was also, it was about the time Black Lives Matter, just after those, and lots of questions in the air about how racism in the country. And anyway, it was awesome. It was awesome to write it, and I have great, I have hopes. I've been talking to Songlines about or Robbie from Songlines, hoping that he'll have some musicians and who'll work on it. He's keen as well. So I find out about funding in September. So first round will go. Yeah,
great. So that's really interesting that you would get the music to be rewritten as well. So would you be doing the same, or I guess I don't know what kind of musical background you've got, but my instinct on hearing that is that, not to say how I would do it if I was going to do it, but that's exactly what I'm going to do, is that notion of the same way you approach the text, because it keeps some of the original Pink Floyd text, but it also interpolates your own. It'd be really interesting to see how musicians took that original music, the themes from that the original music, and could do the same thing, reincorporate them in, but make their own music out of it. Is it entirely a new thing, or is it
in my fantasy land? So I haven't spoken to we haven't locked in anyone. I'm waiting for funding for that. I don't want to waste anyone's time. So in my fantasy land, I would like to not replace, so enhance the music more with kind of bird song, the sound of rain, the sound of, and definitely a bit of didge in there, or lots of didge in there, maybe instead of the whole bass, and sort of not necessarily replace the music, always keep the riffs, but just change the sound so that I feel like it's living, it's eternal. There's something that's, it stretches beyond just the music. Not that that's like, because the music is everything for that album. I mean, the music is everything that in that album. The lyrics aren't well, they are, well, you know, to me that was important, but you know, the music is everything that stays with us, that has stayed with us since the 80s when it, you know, first came out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's such a kind of iconic operatic kind of rock opera kind of thing.
Yeah. So
And in fact, you I'm sure you've seen the film too, yeah?
I have, yeah.
Yeah. Again, the director in me is like going, oh, I want to take stuff from that too. I want to be able to get bits and pieces from the film
Yeah.
and see either recreate them for projection or even better, have them as part of the live performance. I mean, obviously, this is becoming a huge project in my mind.
This is, and that, well, that's the thing. So I have, you know, I would, you know, I'm a good dreamer. So I have, you know, ideally I have long-term big production, but to start small it will work better to build, and then to build an audience, because I feel like that's a really big deal for this, is to build an audience. So I have, you know, I've tried to build, you know, I'm building my Facebook friend space, and, you know, just trying to build it. And then I've invited everyone to, you know, like the page, and just in hope that it's going to then build, and then we'll have the small little reading, and then hopefully I'll be able to get good quality, big funding to remake the, you know, remake a big, no, I would like a theatre, but I'm doing a, I got a producer's, I guess it's another version, or it's a mentorship thing with Theatre Network Australia, VIPI, the Victorian Independent Producers. Yeah. So I'm working with Black and White for that. Black and Bright, what am I saying? Black and Bright. And The Wall is sort of one of the projects that hopefully you know, I'll get some help. So Jeffrey Masters is the producer that's going to be sort of, you know, making sure I step in the right direction, I make the right steps. So I'm hoping that, from that, you know, there'll be some more connections made, and things. Oh, that's right. That's where I was going to. I just got distracted. I'm hoping I sort of had these fantasies of maybe I can get onto short black opera and work with them. So I put that in my application as, you know, that's a, you know, and I also put Bangara just because, you know, well, you know,
why not?
They sort of, is there anyone you want to meet, or is there anyone that you want to, you know, work with? And so I put, you know, short black opera, and I put Bangara as, you know, just like, you know, if there's a chance to have, you know, connections to make it bigger, and to make it sort of, you know, more, just bigger. It would be fun to see a big and hear a big sound. Yeah. But I see it, this is a good, you know, I feel like it's something that can grow slowly, and I'm not in a hurry.
That's such a great pairing too. Like if you get those, I mean, it's sort of perfect for short black opera. I've been just researching the work they did at the Malthouse over the last couple of years, and it seems like it's sort of ideal for that kind of experimental operatic space. But yeah, if you get Bangara on board as well, Jesus, that'd be amazing.
Well, different variations, you know. It's because, so, you know, in my just because my Indigenous experience is, you know, mine's the stolen, mine's a criminal, my version, I think, is this, I'm broken. I'm, you know, the criminal version of, you know, because I don't know where I'm from. I've got my DNA, and, you know, so it's my maternal line goes back, you know, 55,000 years or whatever it is in Australia. Mm. But I don't know who my mob are and where my country is. So I feel like, you know, that the Wall is a perfect example of what my story is. I feel like it really, and that's, you know, when I was a kid, the Wall was huge. You know, we don't need no education, and it was just, you know, it meant so much to me. And I never really knew why it meant so much to me until kind of now. I really feel like, yeah, this is it. It was speaking to me on a different, not just musically. It was speaking to me from a challenge to the systems and walls.
And the well, yeah, and I can totally appreciate that in this within the context of the story that the Roger Waters and those guys tell with the character of Pink, right? So very lost, so very disconnected from the past that he has, which is a kind of inherited narrative of kind of English victory and through the war, but also having lost his father, having no connection to his mother, really, just being fundamentally disconnected from all of the things that makes him who he is, and he becomes this kind of unbalanced rock star. And
confused but not understanding why people are at his concert. I feel like that's a really big one. I feel like, I love that. It was like, everyone's aspiring to be a great rock star, but the reality is it's empty, because these people are just, they're not there for. He's just poured his heart into an album, and the people are there, for the experience, not for the, anyway, that I did feel like it worked with the marches so well. But I actually changed. So for his mother, I decided, because my mum's stolen, because she's stolen Jen, I felt like she was never her own person politically. Like, she just believed whatever she was told. She was institutionalized like so well. She would, like, the propaganda was in her. So I decided that Black, who's not Pink, Black's mother, who's my mother, really, because it's my story, kind of. Black's mother is stolen Jen, so her mother is Murdoch, because it's, my mum was not. So the mother character in this is Murdoch, and it's the media telling you all this freaking rubbish, which is my mum was fed. My mum was taught to shame being Aboriginal. She was taught to support liberal policies and the rich getting richer and capitalism and all that sort of mumbo jumbo. She was taught that was the way of her future, even though it meant that she was had to be a maid. And anyway, it's she had a lot of shame, and that was all taught to her. Shame and duty for her oppressor, and for that Murdoch whole like script of we're seeing it now, the conspiracy theorists. We're really seeing that now. So, Anyway,
that's so fascinating too, because the role that kind of fascism plays in Pink's story equates so well to the propaganda of the Murdoch media and the Australian government policies on assimilation and all of those kind of stuff, and the falsifying and propagandizing of Australian history as well, which is so very much part of the original album too, in its original form, of course, not the stuff, but you get what I mean. Yeah, man, this is all the stuff is why I've so enjoyed every day. It'd come up and I'd be hanging out for it.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Like seriously, it was one of my.
I was a bit late on the last few.
Huh?
Yeah, I was a bit late on the last few. I sort of, I had a few other things on. I was like, and then there was the 25th track was so long, and sometimes it was really hard to keep where I was like and not get. And make sure I was still linking and not getting off center. But part of my to do the reading, I've got these. I'm recycling some materials, packing materials, and turning them into bricks. But so I'm a little bit fascinated with the wall. So before I did this, I was also, I've done wall things, and I'll show you behind me that.
I know. I was just seeing those bits of wall behind you.
Well, one of them, I did them for sort of family of artworks, and they were the shame and one's duty, and they were mum's walls, which were, she were built. We're institutionalized. You create duty. Oh, and there's one of my little hangy brick things, which I might have to change because they will come on to the live concert. They had these. They carried on bricks to build the wall, and then halfway through, and then they took the bricks off. So I imagine having some nice light ones in the packing fabric that will. Come onto the back of the stage behind Carissa, hopefully, if all goes to plan.
Carissa's great. If you can get her, she's great. I don't know. Did you see the back eye? The one that I did with her. Did you see Carissa in the? I'm assuming we're talking Carissa Lee, right?
Yeah.
She was my Charles Manson in my back eye.
I didn't see that.
She was amazing. She was so great. Now I'm just big noting myself in my own show.
Awesome. No, I didn't see.
Yeah. She was terrific. So yeah, if you can get her, she'll be a good get.
Okay.
Hey, that's already more than 10 minutes because
I was just thinking it felt, yeah, good.
yeah, but I mean, you get into the conversation, and I'm down with it. I like
Uh,
it's an arbitrary thing, but I should probably wrap that up around now. So I'm going to say thank you, Monique Grbec, for
Thank you.
your time here, and also
Thank you.
for the Wall Remax project. Like I say, I really enjoyed it, every game. So now that I know where it might be going, I can't wait.
I hope so. Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you.